fellow Spartans, and it is currently 2 or 3 in the morning, and I couldn't go to sleep, so I just decided to make a video. And I thought of an idea. Stuff I believed as kids, or weird things I did as a kid. This is gonna go weird. I did some weird things as a kid, like, I don't know. A lot of these things my family know I do, and they thought it was cute back then. Now I look back at it, I acted like a total retard back then. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this video and I humiliate myself even more because I looked at my 2012 self the other day. Look at that video if you haven't, it's awesome. So yeah, let's get this video started. Okay, so for the first thing I did, for some reason, back whenever I was little, my dream was to be like, for some reason, I like country a lot. I can't stand it now. Like, if I hear country, I'll walk out of the room. But back then, I adored it. So for some reason, I would make my own songs and I would sing them on the couch. And I would sing them in the car. But for some reason, I couldn't sing my songs without like giving myself brain damage in the process. Let me explain. What I did was I sat there and just like did this. And most of the time, there would be like something squishy. I'm sitting in a hard chair right now. But there would be like a couch or a car seat or a car seat or like two different, like car seat that you put for little kids or a car, like a physical, you guys know what I mean. And I would just do that and I would sing the songs that I made up on the spot, and I don't know why I did. That's just something I did. And yeah, I don't know why I did that. Okay, and the second thing, I don't know why I did this or why I thought this either. I thought that whenever I played video games, like for instance, just random game, if I was playing Injustice, and if I was just like sitting there, just playing a random video game, Injustice for instance, the people who made Injustice would be like just looking at me through my TV. I don't know why I thought that either, but I would always be nervous whenever I'm playing video games. I don't know how they did it. I just thought in my mind, I was like, what if the people who made this game were staring at me through my TV? And that's why I only played my DS and stuff whenever I was a kid, because I was like, but they can't see me through the not TV. It's just the logic I had. I don't. Okay, so another thing that I believed, and actually, me and my nephew, we were like best friends, and I believed that Transformers were real. Whenever the first Michael Bay movie came out, I was like, those things look very realistic. And now I know that they're computer generated CGI crap, you know. But that back then I was like, how did they do that? How did they make Transformers real? And the funny thing is, at one point on a beach trip that we did, I saw you remember at the beginning of the first Transformers movie, whenever Bumblebee is a second generation Camaro. Beautiful car. I want that to be my first car. That's besides the point. I saw at the beach, parked in a parking lot, freaking that exact car. It even had like the little Bumblebee like keychain that was on like the mirror thing. You guys know what I mean, in the front of a car. And then we drove around it because I was like, Mom, go, go, go. We And on the back of the car, on the windshield, it had a big gray Autobot symbol, and me and my nephew just stared at each other like, that proves it. That's Bumblebee sitting right there. And every time, I don't know why, but then I started believing anything yellow and black were a brother to Bumblebee. So like a freaking yellow stop sign was a brother to Bumblebee. I don't know why I thought they're not even vehicles. I was a child that loved Transformers, and I don't know. I really don't. Like, man. And I believe in Transformers. Like, whenever Transformers 2 came out, I was like, Mom, can we go to Egypt? I want to see Devastator. Because Devastator was in that movie, if you remember, so. Yeah. I wasn't a weird kid, I just had a wild imagination. Okay. And another thing. Of course, I thought that superheroes were real, even though I'd never seen one. But whenever the Spider-Man movie, the first one, came out before I was born in 2001, and whenever I first saw that movie, I'm like, again, I didn't know that you could do that crap on computers and special effects. I was like, how is he swinging through the city? He's Spider-Man. There's a real life Spider-Man in New York, and I wanted to meet him so bad. And the funny thing is, I was always scared that like the Green Goblin would come and get me and kill me, because that's what the Green Goblin did. But because I thought superheroes were real, and I'm like, if superheroes are real, then supervillains must be real. So, okay. At one point, McDonald's came out with this line of toys, and there was one in particular toy that was a little plastic blue gun that had some orange bits on it and this weird hand. Now, before I had actually gotten the toy, I had pictured, oh my god, I can be Spider-Man, because what I pictured in my mind, I pictured this little plastic gun could shoot out this big strand of like a hand, and the hand would connect to the thing, and I could swing around the little town I used to live in. And I don't know why I thought I would do that. And I got the toy and I was like, yes, I can be Spider-Man. I went and got my Spider-Man costume on. I was like, Mom, I'm gonna go save the city. I went out in my front yard and I was like, okay, let's do this. I shot it, it went, and the hand doesn't even move, it just went, and I was so disappointed. I went back inside, I laid down in my bed and took a nap. I didn't even tell my mom about it. I was just sitting there like, I'm never going to be Spider-Man. Okay. And I don't know why, but I remember whenever I got, here's a figure actually, my first ever Omnitrix, which was the 2006 Omnitrix, and I was like, oh my god, I can turn into aliens. I legit thought that. I knew it was a cartoon, but I was like, it must be real because you can turn into aliens in the show. You must be. I believe that sci-fi was real. That's pretty much the premise. And believe me, whenever I saw Chucky, like even the section of the movie, I had nightmares of Chucky. And I was terrified of Chucky for a very long time until I just realized that I could punt Chucky across a field. He's just a baby doll. I mean, for granted, he has murdered a lot of people. But still, I'm 6'2", and I can punt a football pretty good. At least I think I can, if I try. Most of the time I just joke around with it, but still. I could punt Chucky across the field, but back then I was absolutely terrified of Chucky. I couldn't stand it. Like, I had so many nightmares, man. I was, yeah, like, whenever I saw, like, Scream, I was like, I thought that movies were real. I thought that there was a person. I thought anything on television was real. I thought it was a freaking reality TV show. Everything was. Ben 10 was real. Freaking Star Wars The Clone Wars was real, even though it was shot in a distant universe and in 3D that looked like a cartoon, and Ben 10 was a cartoon. I just dropped Ben 10, and freaking Andy Griffith was real, and for granted he was real. He's my favorite actor. Andy Griffith is awesome. Man, I just freaking realized that, like, I remember whenever I saw Scream, man, and I remember whenever I would, like, go out, and my mom, we would go somewhere, and I would just be driving home, and we would be driving home at night, and I would just be looking around, like, thinking I'd see Scream in the bushes. My thought logic ruined, like, my sense of security. I don't know if I'm using that out of context or not, but still, like, that's just freaking weird. Do you know how bad that messed me up? I was so scared. Like, at night, I would just be laying in my bed, and I would think that I would see the Green Goblin just fly in on his glider through my window. Do you know how terrifying that is to a 6-year-old? I don't think you do. Now, for granted, or no, not for granted, I don't know why I said that. Please tell me I'm not the only kid who thought this. Please tell me that you didn't think that the Joker would come bursting through your roof on a big Christmas torpedo, because back then I saw the episode of freaking the Joker's Christmas or something. I forget the episode. I'm gonna probably watch Batman the Animated Series after I'm finished editing this. Man, like, I remember whenever freaking Ben 10 Alien Force appeared, and I was like, one of the things that I was most absolutely terrified of, and I don't freaking know why. Does anyone remember Slade from the I remember this episode. Teen Titans, the original one, Teen Titans Go is garbage. The original Teen Titans is one of my favorite shows of all time. And oh my god, I was sitting there watching, there was an episode, I don't know if it's a movie episode or something, I barely remember any of the episodes. I need to buy that on DVD. Anyway, or they need to add it to Netflix. Well, I was sitting there, and Robin and Slade had teamed up at one point. And then the people that they were fighting, I believe, kicked his mask off. And oh my god, whenever his mask was off, I freaked out. I darted out of my room. I'll probably put a picture up right now. And oh my gosh, man. Like, that scared the living crap out of me as a kid, man. And I was a big fan of Cyborg. He's still my favorite Teen Titan to this day. Robin's a close second, and then Beast Boy. And then, as a kid, you all know the mind of a boy as a 6-year-old. Girls are icky. I did not like Starfire and Raven. I like them today. Raven's actually one of my favorite superheroes. But back then, I didn't like them. They were at the bottom. But freaking, I was a big fan of Cyborg, and I was outside, like, pretending I was Cyborg, just going, and all that stuff that I used to do outside, whenever I actually played outside. And I always thought that a Slade with his mask off would jump out, and I would have to fight him. And I was like, I would always think to myself, you know, I would talk really stupid, but as a kid, I'd like to think that I had a really advanced mind. I talked like, or I thought as an adult, as a kid. I would say like really words that I didn't know I knew the meaning of in my mind. And I would be like, if Robin, in my mind, I would go, if Robin can't handle Slade, then how am I going to handle Slade if he just jumps out in my front yard and gets me? And I was just sitting there like, I need to prepare for this. And this is a true story, by the way. I went into my room and I asked my dad, do we have any cardboard boxes? And I went back outside with a cardboard box in my head and a Nerf gun in my right hand. And I was like, and I was yelling, come at me, Slade! And I wasn't dumb, I just had an active imagination. I swear. But yes, my friends, if you guys want a part 2 to this, the last thought of this video is getting a little too long just for a video like this. But if you want a part 2 to this, leave it in the comments. I'd be glad to make it. I like embarrassing myself. Well, I like embarrassing my past self. My past self would hate me. But yes, my friends, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, I was not a dumb kid. I just had a very active imagination. All my teachers told me I have an active imagination. But yes, my friends, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys next time. Spartan out.